Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Amber Rain Davis with NotableInk.com. Today we're going to be creating a card for STAMPtember 2018. This is a clean and simple card with stacked sentiments, bright colors, and a brushstroke background. The supplies that we're going to be using today are Simon Says Stamp Spiritual Sentiments, brushstroke messages, a Beautiful Day stamp set. We'll also be using Ranger Distress Oxide in Salty Ocean, Mermaid Lagoon, and Twisted Citron. I'm going to start off this card today by getting the brushstroke stamp lined up on my stamp block. So I'm just going to center that on my craft mat, and I'll line up the lines on, or the grid pattern on the stamp block with the grid pattern on the craft mat. It didn't look like it was lined up from the camera's perspective, but from mine it was. I have already drawn a guideline on my A2 size card panel that you can see there. Just conditioning that stamp since I've never used it before. Now I'm going to go ahead and ink up that brushstroke stamp with Ranger Distress Oxide Salty Ocean ink. I'll continue after stamping this one with the other two colors, and this card design was inspired by the sentiments in the Spiritual Sentiments stamp set. There's lots of encouraging words not only in this set, but the other two sets we're going to use as well. So I've pulled sentiments from 3 different sets to use, and we're going to stack those together for an encouragement card. I find that those are really useful cards to have in your stash to be able to send out to friends and family when needed. So this is the Twisted Citron, and I just kind of, I line up the grid pattern with my guideline, but in terms of the space in between, that I just eyeball based on what I did with the first spacing. So one of the ink swatches was looking a little blotchy to me, so I just put a little ink on my finger and filled that in. I heat set it and then went ahead and erased my guideline because I didn't want the pencil to get trapped under the stamps. I went ahead and stamped those, and I'm going to clear heat emboss them. They were stamped in VersaFine Black Onyx ink. Once we've got those heat embossed, we can erase the rest of that guideline. I pulled out a piece of Gina K Designs Pure Luxury Petite Patterns paper. That's that diagonal black and white stripe you see there, as well as a piece of Simon Says Stamp Green Apple cardstock. I'm using a piece of Sticky Back Black Fun Foam to attach that to the back of the card front. That way I can pop it up. When you cover the entire back of the card front, the card goes through the mail very nicely, as opposed to strips of foam tape. If there's gaps in between, sometimes the card doesn't go through the mail as quite as well. So I'm just getting that attached to a card base. And this is another card where I'm not going to embellish it any further. I feel like the diagonal stripe was just enough. I hope you enjoyed this card today. Be sure to subscribe to my channel below and to my blog at NotableInk.com so that you don't miss any of the other cards I've created for STAMPtember. Also be sure to follow along on their site and check out all of the other people's blogs as well, as Simon Says Stamp is doing random promotions for each person's site. Thanks so much for stopping by, and have a great day.